Now we are on section D, and in this section D, we have 4 questions of 5 marks each. Let's begin with the first question here. In the first question, we have to solve the system of linear equation graphically. As you can see, I've already taken the graph sheet over here and plotted the x and y axis. So for solving this, as you know, we have to make a table and obtain the solution, minimum 3 for each line. Let's begin with the first here. So let's say these are the points over here. Now I'll take this as x, y, and x, y. I'll start with solving the first one here. So for first one, I'm placing, let's say y, if I place as 2. If I place y as 2 here, that is x is equal to x plus 2 into 2, 4. So this is 3 minus 4. So x is equal to minus 1. Next, I'll take the value of, say, if I place y as 0 here. So this is x is equal to 3. So y 0, x 3. Next, I'll place, say, x if I place y as 3, right? So this is y as 3. So it's going to be 3 into 3. Oh, sorry, this is 2. 2 into 3. So x is equal to 3 minus 6. So x is equal to minus 3. So this is 3 minus 3. Same way, I'm going to obtain the equation of the other line. For obtaining, I'm modifying this equation a bit. Let's say if I can write this equation as 2x, transposing this to the other side, it will be 3y minus 8. So now check here, if I take x as what? Or say y as 4. So 4 into 2 is 12. 12 minus 8 is, this is 4 into 3 is 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. 4 divided by 2 will give you x as 2. Same way, if I take a plug-in y as 0. So if I place this as 0, this is 2x is equal to minus 8. So x is equal to minus 4. So this is 0, x 0, y minus 4. And the last one, if I take x as, or take y, that's better. Take y as 2. So this is 3 into 2 minus 8. So 2x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to minus 1. Now what I'm going to do is to plot this on the graph. For that, you have to first make the x and y axis, which I've already made here. Now for the first, we have x minus 1, y2. X minus 1, y2. So it's going to be this point. Next is x3, y0. x3, y0 is this. And x minus 3, y3. X minus 3, y3 is this. Now join these points first. If I join these points, and it's necessary that you should produce it forward because we don't know where the solution will lie. You have to use scale to produce it forward. All right. Now I'm obtaining the second one. This is missing. This is minus 1. So this is 2. Okay, now next for the other one. Let's say second one. So placing x as 2, we'll get y as 4. So x2, y4 is this point. Then we have x as minus 4, y0. X minus 4, y0. Now this point. And third is x minus 1, y2. X minus y1, 2. Yeah, this will be the solution. So let's join these points first. First, you need to join these points and keep producing it forward. Must put an arrow in indicating that this is a line and not a line segment. So we have to obtain the solution of this equation, and clearly the solution of this equation will be the point of intersection of these lines. So this is what? And what is its coordinate? As it is minus 1, comma 2. So we'll say x is equal to minus 1 and y is equal to 2 is the solution. As you know that we'll always get two intersecting lines has a unique solution. So this is how the first part of 32 is done. The next question, 32, that is the OR part. 32b, it says places A and B are 180 kilometer apart. One car starts from A and the other starts from B at the same time. So what I'm doing, let's say if I make two places and I took this point as A, let's say this is point A and this is point B here. Okay. And if the car moves in the same direction, that means if this car is moving in this direction and this also is moving in this direction, they must be meeting somewhere beyond this point, right? Has to be beyond this point. Let's say they are meeting somewhere, say here. That is, I took this point as C, where they are meeting. And when they move, when they travel towards each other, that means this time the car is moving in this and B is moving in this direction. They are meeting at some point. Let's say this is the points D where they are meeting, and this is, I took this point as D, when they move in opposite direction. Now let's say if I take the speed of the first car as x kilometer per hour and the car B as y kilometer per hour. Well, in your exam, you have to write down the statement here. I'm doing it directly. So we know here the time taken. So if I ask you what is the distance traveled, distance is equal to what? We are going to use this relation, distance is equal to speed into time. So distance traveled, now case one, right? This is the case one here in the case one. So when they are moving in the same direction. So if I ask you what is the distance, so distance is equal to speed into time, and the distance traveled by the first car is AC, right? A is traveling because they are meeting at C, right? So the distance traveled by first car is AC, and that is equal to speed into time. The time in this case is 9 hours. So this is 9 times X. And distance traveled by the other car, that is the car B, is BC, right? So this time BC is equal to what? 9 times, that is speed into time, or time into speed, that is 9y. Now what you can figure out that this is the distance traveled by AB, right? The car A, sorry, not AB. And this is the distance traveled by, this is the distance traveled. So I should show you using arrow, that's better. This is what the distance traveled by the first car, that is A, and this is the distance traveled by B. So I can see their difference is what? The difference of these two is this, which is the distance between A and B, and the distance between A and B was mentioned as 180 kilometer. This is 180 kilometer. That's what the distance between A. So we can say that from here, what do we conclude? That if I subtract, that is AC minus BC, as for the figure is 180. So we obtain one equation, that is 9x minus 9y is equal to 180. You can simplify it further by taking 9 common and dividing on the other side. It's going to be 20. It's not degree. So we obtain one relation between x and y. Let's obtain the other one using the same concept. That is case 2 here, right? This is case 2. In the second case, what you can see that they are traveling towards each other. So distance traveled by A will be AD. And if I get AD comes out to be what? AD is again distance into time, the distance into speed. Speed is x, and the time taken is 1 hour, right? They are meeting in 1 hour. So it should be 9x. And distance traveled by B will be BD, and BD comes out to be, that is y is the speed and time is 1 hour, so it's y. Further, you can see that sum of these two, that is AD plus BD, AD, this is D, right? AD plus BD is equal to x plus y, and that is equal to 180 kilometer. So we obtained, I should write here, right? x plus y is equal to 180. So we have obtained another equation here. The first equation is this, and the second is this. Let's simplify this equation. So we have x plus y is equal to 180, and the other, which is x minus y, is equal to 20. So if I add these two equation by elimination, we get 2x is equal to 200. It implies that x will be 200 over 2, that is 100. And substituting x in this equation, we'll get y is equal to, because placing x as 100, this is 180 minus 100, which is, sorry, this, yeah, that's correct. So x comes out to be 100, and y comes out to be 80. So therefore, the speeds of the two cars will be 100 kilometer per hour, and the other car will be 80 kilometer per hour. This is how you will do the question number 32. This is question number 33. It says, prove that the lengths of the tangents drawn from an external point are equal. And then using result, you have to prove something else. Let's say if I just do the first part here, let's say I took a circle here and I'm going to draw two tangents from this exterior point. I took an exterior point, say this, and I'm drawing two tangents here. One, say this, and the other one is this. Now let's this be the center of the circle I joined with this. And I am also joining the point of contact with the center. And if I name this point as, say, P, this being A, this is B, and this is O. So what we have to prove is that we have to prove PA is equal to PB. So to prove this, we are going to prove these two triangles as similar. That is, the triangles which I'm going to prove is, one is this. Not similar, sorry, congruent. And the other triangle is this. Now, how will we prove here these two triangles as congruent? As you can see here that we have OA is equal to OB, that is radii, and OP is common. Further, we know that radius is perpendicular to the tangent at the point of contact. So these angles are 90 degree. So the triangles will be congruent. So let's prove it. That is triangle POA, POA, and the other triangle I did is POB. So we have PA is equal to PB, and the reason is tangents from same exterior point. You have to write that. And OP is equal to OP, that is common side. Further, we have this angle, that is angle A is equal to angle B. This is each 90 degree, or you can write radius is perpendicular to the tangent at the point of contact. Now I can say the triangles, that is POA is congruent. We'll say that triangle POA is congruent to triangle POB, and that is from RHS. Is it RHS? Yes, right angle, hypotenuse, and side. So once the triangles are congruent, we can write its sides, that is PA is equal to PB, that is from CPCT. So first part is done. Let's say what they're asking about the next part. In the later part, they are asking that using this, right? We have to use this property, that tangent from same exterior point. We are given a circle, and the circle is inscribed in the triangle ABC, and touching these like AB, these sides AB touch the circle at point R, BC at P and Q. These are the point of contact. We are given the length of these sides here. So let's say if I write AQ first, AQ is 7. Then how much is CQ? So CQ is how much? CQ is again, CQ is 5. So from tangent from same exterior point, as you know that PC and PQ are, sorry, CQ and CP are tangent from same exterior point, so their length will be equal. So this is also going to be 5. Okay, we don't know the length of BP, so let's say if I take X as of now, so from tangent from same exterior point, again I can say BR is also X. Now this whole length is given how much? We are given the length of this side, that is A. We are given the length AB as 10. So this is going to be 10 minus X. This is going to be 10 minus X. I should once again show you that we are given this length AB as 10. So this is, if this is 10, this is going to be 10 minus X. Now from here, what do you conclude? That again, these are tangent from same exterior point. One more time, this and this. These are tangent from same exterior point, so they can be equated. So I can write over here that is 10 minus X is equal to 7. So that means 10 minus 7 is equal to X. So we get X as how much? X will get as 3. And X is what? X is BR or BP. So we can say BP is equal to BR, which is equal to 3. Now check what we have to find out is the length of AB. Well, why should they ask for the, what they're asking? Given a circle inscribed ABBC CA respectively. I think I have missed something to write down the questions. Okay, we have to get the length of BC. I didn't write it. BC is what? BC is this. So BC, the length of BC, as you can see, it is X plus BC, that is X plus 5, and X we got as 3. So it's 3 plus 5. So that means BC is equal to 8 centimeter. So this should be the, this is what BC is, 8 centimeter. Now we are on question 34. It says that a boy whose eye is at a height of 1.35 meter from the ground spots a balloon which is moving horizontally at some height from the ground, and the angle of elevation of the balloon from the boy at an instant is 60 degree. And after 12 seconds, the angle changes to 30 degree. So let's say if I draw the figure here, what I'll do, I'll first make a horizontal line taking two different position of balloon. Let's say this be the first, this be the second, and the boy to be here, and the boy has certain height, say 1.35 given. This is the first angle of elevation with the horizontal being this, and this is the second angle of elevation where this is the horizontal. And we are given the height, let's say, we will take the height as this, right? So this I'm taking, these are equal here. So these two height. Here this is equal to this. Now I'll take this as H. I'm using H here. This is H. And the angle of elevation here, in the first case, it is how much? 60 degree, right? It was 60, the bigger angle. And the angle of elevation changes to 30 degree. Now from property, we can see that this part will be a rectangle and this will also be a rectangle. We are also given the height of the point of observation, which is 1.35. Throughout it's going to be 1.35, 1.35. I haven't named it. Let me name it A, B, C, D, E, as E, right? This is F. Take this point as G here. Right, and then what I'm going to do is, first I know that this is what the distance covered. So distance covered by the balloon is EF, and distance is equal to speed into time. And how much is the speed? Speed is 3 meters per second. The time is 12 seconds. So we can say that this is EF comes out to be speed, which is 3 into 12. So I can straight away write, or I can show you. So it's 3 into 12, that comes out to be 36 meter. So we know this is 36 meter. So will be this, as I said, it's a property of rectangle. So will be this 36 meter. Now then we are going to apply the trigonometric ratio. First I'm applying trigonometric ratio in this triangle. So we have the triangle named as, in triangle A, this I haven't named it, right? So GH, let's say this is, I'll name it as M. So that is in triangle AMF. We have tan 30 is equal to what? Perpendicular. Perpendicular is FM over base as AG. That's AM. Tan 30 is what? 1 over root 3 is equal to perpendicular, which is H, and AM is what we have to get. So AM comes out to be root 3 times H. Now, similarly, we can take the other triangle, that is triangle AGF. This time I'm taking this triangle. From here, I'm going to apply tan 60, and tan 60 is equal to perpendicular, which is here, which is GF, over base, which is AG. Tan 60 is what? Root 3. This is H, right? This is H over AG. Okay. Now, what is AG comes as? AG is equal to H over root 3. So I mark it equation 1 and this as 2. Now, what I said here that this we know, and this we know as 36. We know the whole length AM. So we can say that this GM, which is 36, is what? AM minus AG. Let me show you. This is AM, right? It's from cross multiplication. This is AM. So what I can see that this is AM. From here, if I subtract this, if I subtract this one more time, we know the length of this line, that is AM, and we also know the length of AG. So their difference will give you what? This. That's what I'm going to do. So I can say that this GM is equal to AM minus AG. GM, as far we can see that it is 36. So I can replace this with 36. AM, from here it is root 3 times H minus H over root 3. Now for further simplification, if I take LCM, root 3 multiplied by root 3 is 3. So it's going to be 3H minus H over root 3. Now I can use this space. So 3H minus H is what? 2H over root 3 is equal to 36. So H is equal to this. If I reduce, it's going to be 18 times, right? So 18 root 3. Further, as I can see, the value of root 3 is given. So we will be placing this as multiplied by 1.73. So we'll multiply 1.73 with 18. So if I multiply, I should get as 31.14. Now, if I read the final part of the question, we have to find the height of the balloon from the ground. So we have obtained this height, right? We have obtained this height, and below it is 1 point. Below it is 1 point. What was that? 1.35. So we need to add these. So the required height from the balloon, from the ground, this is going to be, say, capital H, if I denote, is 31.14 plus 1.35. So we'll add them. If I add 1.35 to this, it's going to be 32.49. That's approximately 50. So therefore, I'll say that this is the height of the balloon from the ground. In this question from the sample paper, that's question number 35. And this is from statistics. Here we have to find mean and median, and this is what the data given to you. Now, first thing that, as you can see, I have made a table here. This is what the table I have made. Now, the first column is about the class, and the class, as I can see, if I write down the class, it is the first class is from 85 to 90. The next is 90 to 95. And the third one is 95 to 100. Next is 100 to 105. The third, which is the fourth one, right? First, second, third, fourth. Now, fifth is that's 105 to 110. And finally, it is 110 to 115. Now, once we have written the class, the next thing that we write is the midpoint of this. So how do we get the midpoint? The midpoint, which is also called class mark, which is obtained by a formula called upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So this is 5 and this is 17 divided by 2 should give you how much? 87.5. So this is what their midpoint. So if I find the midpoint of this, I'll get how much? 87.5. Similarly, for the midpoint of the next, it will be 90 plus 95 divided by 2, which is 92.5. Third will be 95 plus 100 divided by 2, that is 97.5. Next is 100 plus 105 by 2, so midpoint. So you can just figure out that you are actually increasing it by 5, right? If you look into this pattern, because here the class interval is uniform, adding 5 to the preceding, I'll get 107.5, and adding 5 to the preceding, I'll get 112.5. Next is the frequency, generally denoted by Fi here. So we can say frequency as per it is given on the table. It's given on the table here, the frequency. So we'll be writing the frequency as it is 15 for the first, then 22, then we have 20. Next is 18, again 20, and 25. Next, we'll obtain UI, and UI is obtained as xi minus a over t. Now, what is a here? A is called the assumed mean, and assumed mean is the we will be now it's obtained, assumed mean is obtained from this xi and the middle value here. So as you can see here that the middle value we can choose, there are how many? 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have two middle values. So it's upon you what you can choose to take. You can take this as assumed mean or even this as. Now I'm going to take 102 as the assumed mean. There is no such condition. So I'm replacing a here, which I'm taking as 102.5. So we are going to get UI, and how do we get UI? As I said, it's xi minus a over h. I should have written xi. This is xi minus a over h, and h is what? H is the class size. And class size is what? This is upper limit minus lower limit. So we can see the upper limit minus lower limit is the class size, and the class size is obtained as 5 here. Okay, let's now replace this h also with 5 so as we can do it calculation directly. So first is xi minus a over h, xi minus a. So it's going to be 87.5 minus 102.5 over h, which is 5. So their difference comes out to be how much? It is minus 15 over 5, that is minus 3. So once we obtain this as minus 3, this as minus 3, I'm writing here minus 3 here. Then you can see that you'll obtain a pattern has to be minus 2 in decreasing order, minus 1, 0, 1, and 2. The next column is to obtain Fi Ui, that is the product of these two columns. Let me show you. We are going to obtain Fi Ui, which will be the product of Fi and Ui. So need to multiply these two columns. So let's say if I multiply here, what we are going to get is minus 45, right? Minus 45, 22 minus 2 is plus minus 44. Then it is 20 minus 1 is minus 20. Then any number multiplied by 0 is 0. Then it is 20 into 1 is 20 and 25 into 2 is 50. Now, once we have obtained this, next thing is to obtain the summation of this. So summation, first of all, I'll tell you what I'm going to apply is the median formula, which I have already written over here. Let's bring it over here. Now, this is the formula for calculating the mean, not median. Now, for calculating the mean, we are going to use this A stands for assumed mean here. Sigma Fi Ui divided by sigma Fi into H. So what are the things which we already know here? We know A, which is 102.5. We know H. And here sigma Fi, that means we have to get the summation of this column. That will give you sigma Fi. And sigma Fi, that is summation of this column. So let's say if I get this, the sum here, and on adding these, right, I'm obtaining the sum of these column. So on adding, we are going to get this as 120. This is coming as 120. And similarly, I'm going to add sigma Fi Ui, right? So what you can figure out, this is positive 70 minus 20, 50, 50, 50 minus 44, it's minus 39. So we'll get this as minus 39 over here. And this was 120. So why writing by pen? This is 120. Now over here, it is necessary for you to write down. That is what you are going to get here. It is necessary to write, that is sigma. Oh, everything got displaced. Let's move it. So this is what we got as sigma Fi. This is sigma Fi, and this is sigma Fi Ui. Now here onwards, I'm going to place the value. I need to correct the table once again. What we got in the first case is this is sigma Fi, and this is sigma Fi Ui. Now rest I'm going to place the values in the table. So if I place, which is, we are calculating X bar. So A, which is 102.5 plus sigma Fi Ui, that is minus 39, right? So this is minus 39 over sigma Fi, and sigma Fi is how much? 120 into H, and H is the class size, which is 5. I can reduce this, and it is divisible by how much? 24 times. Now for the final calculation, as you can see, this is 102.5. I don't go on taking LCM, that becomes cumbersome. So you can do this division, is divisible by 3 here, right? So I can see that this is if I divide this by 3, this is 3 8 times and 3 minus 13 times. So now simply we have to divide 13 by 8. So if I divide 13 by 8, we are going to get 1.625. 1.625. So now finally X bar, which is the mean here, will be the difference. So if I subtract 102.5 from here, we are going to get X bar as 100.83. So this is the mean here. So as you can see in our question, we had to calculate the mean as well as the median. So first I calculated the mean. Okay, now once we are done with this, we are going to find the median, and I'm going to use the same table here, or we can for finding the median, right? I'm going to use the same table. So finding median, I need another formula. Let's say if I displace this here, and I'm in fact removing it from here because it's done. Now for calculating the median, we need even cumulative frequency. And what is cumulative frequency? So first of all, what I can do, I can erase these two, right? We do not, we have calculated the mean. So I'm going to erase this. Now I'm calculating cumulative frequency. The cumulative frequency is 15. The next is 15 plus 22. This is 15 plus 22, or you may do it like this. This is 15 plus 22. So it comes out to be how much? 15 plus 22 should give you 37. So this is 37. The next will be 37 plus 20, 57, then 57 plus 18, that is 75. After 75, 75 plus 20, that is 95, and 95 plus 25 is 120. Okay, so we have n as 120. We can write over here also as n is equal to 25. And this is, we use small n to denote it. Okay, next to this, once we have calculated, we will be finding the median. So before we find the median, we need a median class, and median class is, to calculate median class, we need n over 2, and n is 120 divided by 2, that comes out to be 60. So n over 2 is 60. Now you have to check 60 comes in which class. So clearly it is over there. So this is the median class. Now for calculating the median, we have a formula. Let me tell you the formula first. For calculating the median, like I use capital M here, it is L plus N over 2 minus CF over F, that multiplied by H. Now, what is L? L is the lower limit of median class, which is 100 here. This is the median class. N by 2 is known to us. CF is the median of the preceding class. CF is the median of the preceding class. And F is the median of the same class. And H is the class size, which we have already obtained. Let's say if I plug in these values over here, we have M is equal to L, stands for the lower limit of the median class is 100. N by 2 can be replaced from here, that is 60 minus CF of the preceding class, which is 57, over F of the same class, that is 18, multiplied by H, that is the class size, which we have already figured out that it was 5, difference of the upper and lower limit. So M is equal to, with more calculation, we says 100. This is going to be 3, right? This is 3 over 18, that multiplied by 5. So this can be divided by 6 times. No need to take LCM. Better way of doing is 5 divided by. So when 5 is divided by 6, you will get 0.88, 0.83, sorry, 0.83. So on adding, we'll get 100.83. So that should be the median here. So we had to calculate the mean and the median. So median we calculated and the mean was done also. This is what we got. Now we are on the last question of this section. That is question number 35. It should be B part. That's an OR part. We are given the monthly expenditure of a milk in a family as 200, of a housing society, which is given, as you can see, table, and we have to find the value of X. Well, this X is missing here, and also the mean expenditure. Now, over here, I'm going to apply this direct method of finding the mean. Reason being, I can see the values over here are very simple. So we know that first I have to make the class And in the next column, we'll be writing the frequency, that is Fi next, or we may first write Xi, that's better, and then Fi, that is the frequency, and then it should be Fi-Xi. Now class is what? The class is given here, and the class here is, the first class is 1000, 1000 to 1500. 1500. The next is from 1500 to 2000. 2000. Next has to be 2000 minus, sorry, 2000 to 2500. Third is 2500 to 3000. From 3000 to 3500. We'll keep on going like that. 3500 to 4000. And then we have 4000 to 4500. And finally, it is this is 4500 to 5000. So we got this, and then I'm going to write Xi, which is Xi is what? The midpoint, right? I should show you that we calculate Xi as the lower limit plus the upper limit, that divided by 2. So it's 2500 divided by 2 is how much it is? It should be 1250. So this is what? 1250. This we are getting as 1250. And in the next, it is 1500 plus 2000, that is 1750. Likewise, you keep on adding 500 to the preceding. That should be 2250. And then 2750. 3250, adding 500 to the preceding. That is 3750. Then it will be 4250. And lastly, it is 4750. Fi, which is given over here, Fi is the number of families. That is 24. Then it is 40, 33. This is X, and this is missing, that we have to keep in mind. This is X. This is missing here. And then next is 30, 22, 16, and 7. Fi-Xi is what? The product of Fi into Xi. The calculation is 1250 into 24. This would give you 3000. 70,000. Next is Fi into Xi. Now you check here, this is 2750 into X. This would be 2750 into, oh no, it's not X. This is 2250 into 30. That should be give you 7474250. And this is what? This is X multiplied by 2750. So it's 2750 times X. I should highlight in this column. The X is what we have to determine. The next will be 9. This is on multiplying. I'm getting 97500. So 3750 into 22, it's coming as 82500. Lastly, it is 68000. And then 33,250 on multiplying. 4750 with 7. Now, once we have got this, we have to get the summation of, as you can see in the formula, we need Fi, Xi. Now let's figure out from here that we need a summation of fi. So I can just take summation of fi from here. This is summation of fi that we are going to get here. It's coming so big. Okay, let's make it wide. And the next is sigma fi xi. So I'll take from here, copy it from here just to get this sigma fi xi. Now check, in order to get the value of sigma fi, we can go to the main table where the sum is given, right? It was given the total sum as 200 families. So the sum of these will be 200. So we'll write this is equal to 200. Well, you should understand it properly. Why I'm writing this is equal to 200, because this is sum of all frequencies, and sum of all frequencies is given as 200. Okay, let's say if I write 200 over here, this is sigma fi. And coming to the next part, what is sigma fi xi, that you have to calculate. But before that, let's figure out the value of x here. So what we can see here, that we are given the sum of these. If I add these numbers over here, so it is coming, if I add these numbers over here, this column, this is equal to 200. So we have this, I already calculated, this is 172 plus x is equal to 200. That implies the value of x is 200. So once we get the value of x here, we could have replaced this with, this is what, 28 by 200. On subtracting with this, I'm getting 28. So I can replace this x with 28. That will also give us the value of this column. Now, what I'm going to do is to multiply this. So now I'm replacing this, and I'm multiplying 28 with 2750. So on multiplying, I'm getting 77000. Now, once we have obtained this, the next is to obtain sigma fi. Well, the calculation involved is this, that will be, we will be adding these columns. So on adding these columns, what we are going to get is, I'm writing here, that is, on adding this, I'm getting 532500. This is what I got. Now we have to find the mean, and the final working here will be mean is sigma fi xi, which is from here, that is equal to 532500, that divided by sigma fi, which is 200. So I can reduce this to get the value of the mean, and that comes out on dividing 2 times 6 times 6 times 2 times plus 1, that is 10, which is 5 times. So we'll say that this is the, okay, this is x, but don't get confused with this x. This was this is a variable representing one of the frequencies of this column, and x bar is the mean here. So we got mean as this.